What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to start off with a very interesting video from Brad Garlinghouse talking about JP Morgan specifically and how a lot of these big banks kind of FUD cryptocurrencies, things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, conspiratorially possibly to get better buys on them, all right? But how they're obviously involved in the market. The SEC, we have that big lawsuit with SEC Ripple. They added a few new offices. I'm going to talk about that. The Ethereum merge, Ethereum's going from a mining network to a proof of stake network. There's a lot of talk about that, and it's relevant to the whole space, so I'm going to touch on that very quickly. Two different scenarios that could cause the settlement from a lawyer, so I'll talk about those two scenarios. And Raoul Pal, a macro expert, former Goldman Sachs executive, this isn't just anyone, talking about how XRP's network will play a key role in the future CBDC system, and then just some rabbit hole information about XRP from a few years ago that was very intriguing to me. As always, if you guys want to support, hit the like button. Hope you had a great weekend, a good Monday. Hitting the like really supports the video, so thank you in advance. God bless you. I really do appreciate it. I don't show you bullshit affiliate links here. I just make these videos to cover relevant information. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an XRP nut like you guys. So let's hop into it. Let's start with this.
When we talk about Jamie Dimon, we first have to recognize where he sits. He sits at the top of the global financial infrastructure. There are a few banks, of which JPM is certainly one, that make billions and billions of dollars of profit by virtue of that perch. 99.9% of banks don't make money in this ecosystem in terms of cross-border payments. Jamie Dimon makes a technical term of a shit ton of money by sitting there. So when I hear Jamie Dimon saying it's a fraud, I think to myself, well, of course he's going to say that. He's talking. I mean, and by the way, there's also people who conspiratorially, he's trying to talk down the price of Bitcoin so JPM can buy it. Like the idea that JP Morgan isn't actively working in the blockchain and Bitcoin space is not true. Frankly, I don't mind sharing. There are about 15 senior JP Morgan people at Ripple's offices this afternoon. Now, unless JP Morgan's going to fire them.
Does JP Dimon know that?
Apparently not. Anyway, so look, that's my thought on the whole JP Dimon thing. I do think there are people who are going to say this is, in the same manner, a very smart investor said to me, in 1997, the whole West Coast was long Amazon and the whole East Coast was shorting Amazon. We saw how that worked out.
And that's kind of like the crypto consensus on XRP right now. It's like the LeBron James of crypto. It's polarizing. You either love it or you hate it.
And his point was basically, look, the West Coast is obviously bullish, and there's some that are very cynical about these things, and we'll see how it works out. On the risk factor, just very briefly, because I don't want to go on too long, but I think what we have to remind ourselves is this has to come back to utility. What problem is the digital asset solving? If it's solving a real problem and it's creating value by solving that problem, then there will be value in the token. I think what's risky is there's a lot of these things, as Juan was saying, that I cannot explain why you need a token. I can't explain what the token does. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think
that's about it. Think about things like Doge and Shiba made millionaires in crypto. What's the utility, right? People can get rich off meme coins, but people can get rich at the casino as well. Is it going to happen to us? Probably not. It's not a great way to use your money. Talk about all the time. You want to find things that have utility, things that are fixing a technological issue, because in business, that's called a competitive advantage. That's what wins. And XRP over the past 10 years hasn't produced the most crazy gains, but big banks take a long time, and you just want to wait 10 years, which in investing is not a long time. Get a good technology, hold on onto it for 10 years. This is the dot-com bubble all again. We're in 1995. A lot of people think Yahoo and Ask.com are the winners. Bitcoin. Where's Yahoo and Ask.com now? It's Google, it's Amazon, it's Microsoft, it's Apple. So we're still in the beginning of this technological revolution. And you want to buy coins like XRP. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but XRP has that competitive advantage, right? It sends money instantly, cross borders in 3 seconds for free, basically, right? Those are the technologies you want to bet on and just wait 10 years. SEC has two new offices. So the SEC has an office of crypto assets and an office of industrial application and services, purely focused on dealing with crypto assets and industrial applications and services, right? Kind of like what I was just saying, cryptocurrencies that actually have some innovation, some problem-solving capacity in a certain niche. The SEC is a little bit late on these, but I do think it's good for them to be expanding their crypto regulation sphere. The Ethereum merge is coming up. A lot of people think Ethereum is just going to go to 50K past Bitcoin. Probably not going to happen. In this report from CoinShares, they reported that Ethereum-based investment products had a consecutive 5th week of outflows. So what does that mean? People are taking money out of Ethereum products. The head of Polygon, chief security officer, said, if it's public knowledge, it's already priced in. If it's not public knowledge, it's insider trading. Don't get wrecked trying to gamble. A lot of people think, oh, buy Ethereum now because when the merge happens, it's just going to moon. But I think it's more of those buy the rumor, sell the news type events. On the flip side, though, this other big crypto Twitter influencer says Ethereum is about to get a 99 cut in issuance, right? Ethereum right now is inflating. After the Ethereum merge, there will never be any more Ethereum, and it'll actually start to burn Ethereum. And also a 99.9% cut in energy usage. The merge is not yet priced in. So I'm not going to say what's going to happen because, quite frankly, I don't know what's going to happen. But the Ethereum merge is a big event going on in crypto right now. And all these miners, all these people mining Ethereum, when they can't mine it anymore, what are they going to do with their thousands of dollars of computers that they used to mine tokens? They're going to go to other tokens. So you saw Ravencoin. I'm not endorsing Ravencoin. It had an inflation bug in the past. It's kind of crap, actually. But there are going to be other opportunities if you guys want to do some research and get down in the dirt. There's going to be some other coins that these Ethereum miners are going to flock to. Just wanted to speak on that really quickly. And another thing on Ethereum's new merge. It might not function too well. Everyone's pretty bullish on it, but there's something called a 51% attack, where essentially the validators of a network can collaborate to get power over the network. And it already happened once. So keep that in mind. This merge might not go as great as everyone's saying. The SEC could settle soon with Ripple if there are two key scenarios that unfold. John Deaton, he's the guy leading the class action lawsuit for 65,000 XRP holders. Excuse me. He suggested in a recent tweet that the SEC will not settle until the political risks outweigh the political benefits. And right now, Chairman Gary Gensler does not think he has a lot to lose by not settling. All right, this is a political battle at the end of the day. So the first scenario. First is if the agency must surrender the bulk of emails and notes with a draft of former Director William Hinman's speech. This is the speech where he said Ethereum was not a security, and there could be a lot of potentially damning information in here. The second scenario that could prompt a settlement is if the SEC receives an unfavorable judgment in the Liberty case. So this is another ongoing case from 2016 with the SEC regarding an unregistered security. There will be no settlement, Deaton believes, unless one or both of these events occur. The SEC brought the lawsuit against Liberty last March, alleging that decentralized content platforms sold millions of this LBC token in 2016 in the interest of the public should have been registered as securities. The Liberty lawsuit could conclude the XRP versus Ripple lawsuit. As such, the SEC could cite the rulings from the Liberty case in the long-standing Ripple suit. Now, when you look at a token from a decentralized content platform versus the utility token that XRP is, the companies and what they're doing with the token is very different. But in the law system, in the legal system, precedent is everything. So an unfavorable ruling in the Liberty lawsuit could be bad for the XRP lawsuit. Yeah, let's just move forward. Ripple opposes SEC request to seal expert witness identities in the lawsuit. So today, Ripple wrote in a response that the SEC has not made the necessary particularized demonstration of fact to establish the sealing is appropriate. What they wrote today, Monday, Ripple, they wrote this in response to something the SEC did on Friday. The SEC filed a motion a few days ago on Friday seeking to seal parts of information from an August reply in briefings in support of the SEC's and Ripple's previous motion to exclude the SEC expert testimony. Just a bunch of legal jargon. Not too much going on here, but what we do know is that the lawsuit potentially could come to an end in November. Jeremy Hogan, one of our favorite XRP lawyers on Twitter, said that at the end of September, all the cards are going to be on the table. And a lot of this back and forth debate has been about what cards are going to be allowed to be on the table. So once the cards are on the table, the hands are shown. We hopefully should see this thing wrapping up pretty soon. Now, this is really interesting stuff. Macro expert Raoul Pal, former Goldman Sachs executive, talking about XRP. He did an hour-long AMA on YouTube. Good-looking guy. And this is what he says. In a new Ask Me Anything session, the Real Vision CEO, former Goldman Sachs executive, says the XRP ledger has built a solid foundation by actually being heavily used rather than just attracting speculative fervor. A lot of cryptocurrencies, a lot of stuff in the blockchain space is based off hype and venture capital money. XRP, on the other hand, they've been developing this for over 10 years, and they're deeply entrenched in the government. And then this is what he says for quote. There's this weird narrative from the past about Ripple. The point being is, even if they have to settle a lawsuit and get a slap on the wrist, Ripple plays actually quite an important role. It's a money transmission network, and it does quite a good job of it. This is a former Goldman Sachs executive too. This isn't just some random guy like me on YouTube saying this. This is smart money. It has deep connections with global governments around the world and has worked really hard on it. So there's a reason the chain is valued as high as it is. And it's not from speculation, because actually it got taken off a whole bunch of exchanges because of the lawsuit. It's actually because when I use my Metcalfe's law model, the amount of value that gets transacted on the chain is very high. So Metcalfe's law, if you don't know what that is, came out of the telecom boom. And Metcalfe's law says that the value of a telecommunications network is proportional exponentially to the amount of users. Meaning, as you get more and more users, the network becomes more and more exponentially. If you don't know math, it's the curve that I'm a math teacher and now's not the time. Essentially, the more users you have on a network, exponentially, it gets more and more and more valuable, okay? And amidst all this FUD and lawsuit drama, what's being used? The XRP ledger. Raoul Pal says that the world should move towards a global economy based around CBDCs. The XRP network has a real shot at being the center of it all. So I think if you lift the legal issue, the probability is that the value of the chain increases significantly. And as the world moves towards central bank digital currencies, I think the XRP is going to be somewhere near the center of all of that. I know it's not the flavor of the day for a lot of people, but I think it's a big player. It's a real player in a real niche. All right, pretty bullish stuff coming from a very smart guy. Now check out this document, okay? Shout out to Nate855 on Twitter for finding this. Also, guys, I have a Telegram group. It's free. It's just a free chat room. I don't ask for money. I don't charge anything. So if you like these videos, you like XRP, and you want a place to just engage with me, engage with the community, Telegram is in the video description below. Join it. It's free, very secure. So Capco is the capital markets company, okay? And they did a report on distributed ledger technology and cross-border institutional payments, okay? And look at what they have to say. A scenario where institutions consistently agree upon conversion rates for each trade value would slow transactions down considerably. Instead, the institutions could utilize a stablecoin of choice, such as XRP, or one developed in their consortium. According to Ripple, cross-border transactions using its system take under 7 seconds to occur. Compare that to, what, 3 days right now? Each member bank could purchase an amount of the stablecoin, then they peg the value of their currency of choice at the time of the transaction and trade it across the network to then be cashed out on the receiving end for the currency of choice. Each member bank would then have an option of using a stablecoin to enable transactions across the border and conduct the transactions over multiple currencies and forms of collateral. So every country has their own sovereign token, right? The US has the dollar, the euro, European Union has the euro, Japanese, they have the yen, etc. But they use a stable coin like XRP to enable those fast, second-long cross-border transactions, okay? And then they say a little bit more. Outside of the JPM network, American Express and Santander Bank announced in 2017 that they would underpin their FX international payments platform by RippleNet. Okay, this is 5 years ago. RippleNet is an enterprise blockchain payments platform to transfer money quickly and in a traceable route. And then he says XLM question mark. IBM also announced the successful testing of its worldwide network in March 2019 to handle cross-border payments using both stablecoins and cryptocurrencies. Now, how many other cryptocurrencies and blockchain companies have countless reports from whether it's central banks, high-ranking financial government institutions, or think tanks like the Capital Markets Company coming out and looking at their tokens for actual utility, right? This is one of many documents. I could make a 10-hour-long video just going down these rabbit hole type documents that mention XRP and mention what Ripple's doing, but that wouldn't really change much. Big banking doesn't change overnight. Perfect transition to this. I say this all the time. When things take a long time, people assume it's a failure without realizing how extremely slow-moving and conservative banks are. Big business moves way slower than small business, right? That's an advantage of small businesses and startups. They're very agile. They can make changes on the flip of a dime. Big companies, they have to go through all these different loops, checks and balances. It's harder. And then something like central banks, the banking system, the biggest business of all business, people think it's moving slow, hasn't even been 10 years, right? Which is a drop in the bucket on this timeline that we're living in. And he links right here an article from 2016. Ripple and R3 team up with 12 banks to trial XRP for cross-border payments. Now I'm just going to go through this very quickly, but this is from 6 years ago. And it just goes to show, like what I was saying before, there's countless pieces of bread on this rabbit trail. What am I trying to say? There's tons of pieces to this pie, and I could bring up all these different types of documents. My point is with this, there's not a lot of other blockchain companies and cryptocurrencies that have been making these moves. Today, we are announcing that 12 banks belonging to a consortium led by financial titan R3 is trialing Ripple's native digital asset XRP to scale liquidity and reduce costs and inefficiencies of cross-border payments. Rather than relying on Nostro accounts. If you guys don't know what a Nostro account or a Vostro account is, it's essentially what XRP is going to eliminate the need for. Right now, central banks have to use these things, Nostro accounts. I won't talk about them now, just look them up. But they have to use these because cross-border payments take days. They take 40, 60 hours. And so you need some sort of collateral to protect the payment. That's a Nostro account. Now, this is what XRP will do. Rather than relying on Nostro accounts to hold various currencies around the world, banks can enable real-time value exchange by using an independent digital asset. This blockchain-inspired alternative to correspondent banking provides on-demand liquidity and dramatically reduces associated costs. Banks care about money. If they can save money, do you think they're going to choose not to? Of course not. Think about how everything in this world right now is so instantaneous, but banks still take days to send their money. It goes to show how slow they are to innovate. One of the world's most popular digital assets, XRP, boasts the fastest settlement speed, settling in about 5 seconds or less. In addition to benefiting from this instant liquidity, instant payment, banks can save up to 60% in payment processing costs with Ripple's solution in XRP. Right? Point blank, period. There's really not much more to discuss. Like what Brad Garlinghouse was saying at the beginning, you want to pick cryptocurrencies that have a technological advantage. What problem is the token solving, right? Look at Bitcoin, the titan of the whole market. Bitcoin was designed in its white paper to be peer-to-peer payments. It's failed. It will never be peer-to-peer payments. I'm sorry if you're a Bitcoin maxi, you probably aren't. Now they say it's as digital gold, it's a store of value. Well, maybe so, it could be that, but a store of value that tanks 85% every 3 years doesn't sound like a great store of value. I think we see a future where Bitcoin doesn't exist. It goes to zero. And the tokens that actually have utility, right? Tokens that are actually solving a problem, because that's where real value comes from. In the past few years, we've seen people make millions of dollars off pictures, JPEGs, NFTs, meme tokens, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. This timeline will not last. Okay, money does not come easy like that. Crypto's kind of changed the narrative a bit. We want to bet on technologies that are solving problems, and I can't put it better than that. It saves banks time and money. What's the most precious asset in the world? Time, then money. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching. Join the Telegram group if you're new. It's just a community. It's free. Anyone can talk. Subscribe. Hit the bell. If you don't hit the bell next to the subscribe button, YouTube will never notify you. But maybe you don't want to get notified about my videos. And if you're still watching the video, I want you to comment bank. Okay, comment bank below in the comment section. That lets me know you finished the video. By watching to the end, you support me a lot. So I appreciate that. Let yourself be known. I really do appreciate the people that watch the full video. And God bless you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Until next time.